today is more of a day of being away from everybody, just in my own space right now. I am heavily like picking up on people around in the environment, uh, all throughout here. And it seems like my bullies and harassers, they setting up tactics out here again. I noticed some things. I did a couple tests just now, and I got confirmation that I'm right. These people willing to be late to go to work just to stay back and on purpose try to do things to harass me. Um, as I said before, I'm temporarily staying in hotels until my apartment is secure. It's something with I've been picking up on people all morning, y'all. I did not sleep. The people on my job, they shady. Especially that whole bag handing me the bathroom trash into my bare hands like that. I mean, she literally went to the bathroom, got the bag, brought it up to me as I was at the cash register, standing there, getting ready to wait on customers. She hands me this bag. The worker, she hands me this bag. Um, and, I didn't think nothing of it because, I was thinking, okay, maybe it was plastic from the stock. Come to find out, when I took it out to the trash can in the front, it was stuff from the bathroom, the restroom. I was furious. I was upset. I didn't have gloves on or anything. My hands were not protected. And I looked at this 24-year-old woman. She grown. And I kept thinking she's old enough to know better. Hello, everybody. Welcome to my channel. There's a chat below. And I couldn't believe my coworker went to the bathroom and got the trash out of the bathroom trash can and walked up front to the front of the store and handed it to me. And I'm looking like, why am I like taking it outside when you can take it out? It makes no sense in you bringing it to me, and you could have just went straight out the front door and threw it in the trash can. But y'all, she brought it to me and placed it up against me. And I'm looking like, hold the fuck on now. Don't be doing that. And then my hands grabbed it. And I'm looking like, what the fuck is this? Come to find out, took it to the dumpster. It had toilet paper, tampons, used tampons in it, and all of that. I was furious and grossed out and disgusted that when I got back to the store, inside the store, I immediately went to the bathroom and started scrubbing my hands severely with soap and water. I was trying to find bleach to pour onto my hands. They didn't even have that. And yeah, I never would do something like that. I don't know what it is with North Carolina people. And the fact that, these individuals are making y'all look bad to me, because I experienced this with more than one person being mean to me, doing things like that. Like they're trying to make me sick. Don't you know I could have you arrested for that? If you're trying to affect my health and endanger my life, I could have you arrested for that. A lot of people think I'm like playing around and shit when I say these things. But don't you know, you can go to jail. That could be considered as attempted murder. If I were to get sick and get something that cannot be cured, so automatically you took my life, so I can have you arrested. But I see how they are around here. They're really fucking ruthless, to the point it makes you want to whoop their asses. And then when you pop off at them for disrespecting you and doing mean shit like that to you, they want to run and play victim, like go to everybody else like everybody's supposed to force you. No, you have to take that. You have to deal with that. You can't say nothing. We can treat you differently out of everybody. We don't have to treat you the same. We don't have to let you ride the fucking bus. Everybody else can ride, but you don't have to. You need to fucking walk. And when I pull the bus up, you can't get on at the front door. I'm going to drive this fucking bus half a mile down the street, and I want you to walk your fucking ass to me. That's how they do me, y'all. I want you. Everybody else can get on right here, but you got to wait. Walk the fuck down further. And I'm going to drive the bus past your ass, and I want you to take a 20-minute walk to me. I'm going to get out of the driver's seat, and I'm going to holler, "Are you riding?" Then walk your ass down to me. Because you're not one of us. You're not black. You're not anything. You're a piece of trash. And you're the dirt on the ground. I want you to walk to me. That's how she did that whole pulling the trash out of the bathroom yesterday to me. And she looks at me like I'm so dirty and disgusting, gonna hand me to put the, like literally force the bag onto me, to where I had no choice but to grab on it, because she probably would have threw it all on me. And when I saw that, I said, yeah, y'all are fucking out of control. You need your ass whooped. Like you keep doing these things to me, and y'all think you have a right to disrespect me like that, because the white folks are racist towards me. So you figure that I'm outnumbered, so you can't just treat me any type of way. And they convinced the police not to listen to me. And so sometimes they be helping them, joining in with the harassment. That's why people be like, call the police. What for? They're not going to help me. They help them, but they don't help me. They help the white folks, but they don't help me. I wanted to go to church. The people at the black church told me that I couldn't go to church there, that I would be better off going down the street. That's how it is when I was in Greensboro. And I remember I was so excited. I seen all the churches, and I said, I would like to go in and go to church. Because I remember when I was little, my grandfather used to take me to church. And I remember my grandfather said, every church is welcoming. You can go into a church to praise God. And sadly, that's not true. I found that out. The black people in Greensboro, North Carolina, did not want me to set foot in their churches. right up before I got that summons to go to court, and I was told that I had to I think all that was set up for me to lose my apartment. Um and that's the things that they do to me. They do what they want to me. And like if I try to stand up and fight it and defend myself, they tell me I'm wrong. Or they'll try to use the mental illness thing to keep people from listening to me. I was going to delete this channel, but I ain't going to do that. I'm going to keep it going and tell more. I'm going to tell my story. And people do stuff to me like that, y'all. They do. I don't experience normal things like all of you can, like going into a supermarket and be able to shop in peace or to get friendly customer service. I don't get that. Um, they do stuff like that to me on jobs. Like if I was hired to do a certain job, they'll take me out of my job subscription and give me a lower grade job to do. I experienced that as a machine operator. I hold many titles, y'all. I'm very, very skillful in almost every field. Um, Throughout my short life on this earth, I've learned a lot and developed many skills. And I had the blessing to learn, machine operator. I got to be a machine operator. And I remember this one job, it was at Pactive in Greensboro, North Carolina, a company called Pactive. Pactive Evergreen. I'll never forget it, y'all. And it was the one on Radar Road. I went into that location, and the staffing agency sent me there. And who is hiding here? Hold on, y'all. I went into Pactive Evergreen. I was excited, y'all, to have a new job and everything. And people people were greeting me and stuff, the managers. And then as soon as I went out to the floor, in the production area, and they hand me over to the floor supervisors, they were being mean to me. And they gave all the workers a place on the machines, but I didn't get no place. They gave me, no, it was a black woman. It was 3 of them. They were dark skinned. And she said, I got something for you. Turn around. She comes back with the broom. And she said, all the trash under the machines, I want you to sweep it up. Sweep it up like that. And then I grabbed the broom. There was a part of me that wanted to say, fuck this shit. Nah, I know what you're doing. You just trying to bully me because of the way I look. And so I kept thinking, you know what? Just quit. Just leave. And then something in me said, no, just call the agency, tell them what happened, and ask them to switch you to another job assignment. And so I end up getting through that, and I just started sweeping and cleaning under the facilities machines. At the end of the day, I was all dirty. I'll never forget. I was very dirty. And I remember there was this one black woman. She looked at me. Let me show y'all. She looked at me, and she was standing like this. And she goes, Yeah, like that. Like, yeah, sweep that goddamn floor. And I kept thinking, I noticed a lot of black people are racist towards me. Very racist towards me. They be treating me differently from the rest of the black people. And a lot of times they be like, "Where are you from? Are you mixed?" Like that. And I'd be like, "No." And I live here in North Carolina. You know what I'm saying? I don't even tell them where I'm originally from because they get all heated when I tell them I'm from the East Coast. You know, they start doing things to call themselves punishing me. And so less information is better. Um, and then too, most of the time on the jobs, I keep to myself because people are mean to me. So it's safer for me to just keep to myself. And then when I don't say nothing, they be like, "Oh, you quiet." And I be thinking, yeah, because you're fucking mean to me. And I just want a paycheck. And I'm not here for you. I'm here to work. I'm not here to make friends. And so I experienced moments like that with workers. And then I remember I went for an interview for a receptionist job. There was this white woman who was at a staffing agency. She was hired for a receptionist and slash recruiter. I went for the interview, and all of a sudden when I showed up, she had to change her mind. She said, well, actually, the job's not available no more. Have a good day. Like that. And that was in Greensboro, North Carolina. After I moved to Tradebrook Village Apartments, that's when I started experiencing all that shit. It was like everywhere I was going to try to get a job, people were just like lying and saying the job wasn't available no more, or um, it was a mistake for the posting. It was all kinds of shit. And like now, you know, Link Transit bus system in Burlington, North Carolina, I was riding the bus. I was forced to stop riding because the Greensboro uh, workers, there's workers that are from Greensboro, North Carolina, came over here and invading the Link Transit bus system in Burlington, North Carolina. So everything that they're doing over there, they're doing it over here in Burlington, North Carolina. And so it has forced me to not ride their bus no more. I enjoy riding the Link Transit bus here in Burlington, North Carolina, but I do not like the new drivers they got. They're from Greensboro, North Carolina, and they're being mean to me. They're trying to get me to stop riding the bus over here like they did in Greensboro, North Carolina, for Greensboro Transit Authority. And then also Park Regional tried to do the same thing to me. Because that bus driver, y'all, one day gonna ask me why I don't ride the GTA. All of them been interfering with my travels and commutes to and from work. And I didn't really start having issues with the bus until I moved to Tradebrook Village Apartments, which is very odd. Somehow all of this is in a connection. But all these people need to go to jail. They need to be arrested for harassing me, for organizing a crime on me like that. Because I spoke to a lawyer, and the lawyer told me that's criminal. What they're doing, it's all criminal. And then, y'all, I'm staying in an extended stay, and there's like these group of Mexicans uh, they're kind of young, and I could tell I'm probably like twice their age. They've been harassing me, um, waiting for me to come out my room and stuff, and using this pit bull dog and trying to do things to start shit, to try to call themselves provoking a reaction out of me. And I'm gonna be honest, y'all, I got a prediction of them. Some of them ain't even licensed to drive. You know, they're not licensed to be driving those vehicles and stuff. And then also too, something is illegal with them as well. And I kept thinking, you know, I'm picking this up, you know, psychically. Psychically, I got a prediction of of some of them being, you know, not having no valid driver's license and driving this van around without no license. And I keep thinking, like, you shouldn't really mess with me. You should leave me alone. Like, they should not be bothering me. Okay? If you don't have your stuff 100, you shouldn't be making trouble with anybody. Like, you should just be focused on yourself and your own life and to keep the peace. Because when you start doing all that, you're drawing attention to yourself. And that's not smart to do. With all the stuff going on in the world and deportation and all of that, it's best not to be picking fights with nobody. And then too, I sense that they're upset at the fact that the stuff going on in the world, I don't have nothing to do with that. And I will say this, you know, if you are illegal and you're coming to a country illegally, you know, responsibility wise, that is on you. You're making that choice to do that. Do not blame others for choices that you decided to make. Like, going around taking it out on people, it ain't gonna solve nothing. It really ain't. It's just gonna make your situation worse. You know, just like any person in America that is a born American citizen, you know, born and raised in this country all their life, generation to generation. That person could not go over to another country and just live there. You know, the other country's not going to let that happen. So the same rules apply to everybody. You know, whether people want to admit it or not, it does. The same rules apply to everybody. Like, nobody can go over to London and just live there. Like, you gotta be what is it? You gotta get legalized to live there. Like, you just can't go over there and say, I'm gonna live there. It's a process. You know, you just can't do that. Americans can't even go over to Mexico, you know, and live there because you'll be sent back. So it's the same everywhere. You know, don't get mad because, you know, there's certain individuals, you know, saying that you shouldn't be here. Legally, you know, they do have a right to say that. Now, how it's being like done, how people are going by it, yeah, it could probably be a little better, you know. But at the same time too, it's never good to force your way into a country. Like, especially if you're not legal. That's just very dangerous to do and not smart at all. You know, I understand things are going on in other countries. America's not perfect either. There's stuff going on here as well, but people deal with it. They're not running to other countries, you know, to get out of it. You know, they deal with it. Some may do that, you know, but they take the proper steps to get themselves legalized before they just start going to them other places, because they know they can't just go over there like that. You know, you have to have certain papers, immunizations, all of that. You just can't walk into any country and be like, I'm just gonna live here. You know, fuck it. I'm tired of living in America. We just can't do that. You know what I'm saying? Nobody can. You know, stuff is put in place for a reason. It's not to discriminate or to say certain people can't come. It's just so they can keep up with everybody who's in the countries. You know, it's like a sort of like a birth certificate, a social security card, you know? You know, it's many reasons why, you know, there needs to be people that they try to keep records of everybody who's in what country or what, you know? But I sense with the people around here, like they blaming like they taking their frustration. You can't take your frustration out on somebody, you know, because you chose to do what you did. You know, I didn't tell you to do that. Nobody did. You made the choice to walk over and to be here. You know, there's stuff that goes on in America, but you don't see people running. You know, and going into countries without being, you know, properly legalized, doing the necessary paperwork. You know, and that's another thing too. Just get the papers. Just come over legally. That way you won't have no issues. Problem solved. You know what I'm saying? Then nobody can say nothing to you. Like, seriously. Like, there's nothing more anybody can say or do. I mean, if you're not taking the appropriate steps to ensure everything is you know, intact legally, then ain't nothing nobody can do for you. You know, it's the same as if anyone goes to another country to live. You know, if they don't have certain papers and getting registered, all of that, being legalized in another country, the same thing will happen over there. They will send that person right back. And it did happen to a woman on a flight from New York to, I think, Russia. And they sent her ass back because she can't just go over there like that and stay. Because they got to know she's in the country. They got to have records. You know, she's got to be registered, all of that, you know, legalized. You know what I'm saying? They got to know you exist because, you know, God forbid people go missing. You know, they got to have record of you. You know, ID, all that. You know, they got to have that. And so I look at so many, like taking shit out on other people and stuff. Hey, that is not my fault. I didn't take you by the hand and told you to walk your ass over here and come here to live. I didn't tell you that. You took it upon yourself to make that big choice. So now there's certain things going on all over the world and stuff. And in America, you want to get mad because there's certain things that are happening. That's not my fault. That is not my fault. I don't have nothing to do with that. Nothing. I'm trying to live my life and make it. You know what I'm saying? It ain't easy, you know, for to be honest, any American to be living in America, it's expensive. You know what I'm saying? Everybody got to work. Everybody got to survive. Everybody got families, I'm sure, to take care of. People got children to feed. You know, it's expensive. You know, we got to work. We got to survive. We got to take care of our families. We're too focused on trying to live and survive and make money, you know, to better and enhance the quality of our lives. You know what I'm saying? We have enough problems as is, trying to make it. You know what I'm saying? And y'all, some of y'all, not all, some of y'all want to take your shit out on people. And I feel that is unfair. You know, if it was me, during these times, I would just go back to my country and work on being legal, and then come back and with the papers and everything. That way, nobody can say nothing or do nothing to you. Problem solved. I love everybody. I do, y'all. I love everybody. But it's a lot of things that I see and be picking up psychically that people be doing out here, making things more difficult than what it needs to be or what it should. Everything could be so simple, if you just do what you're supposed to do and do it the right way. Because if you don't, yes, it's going to complicate things. But I noticed people like trying to call themselves being mean, taking things out on somebody. Don't blame me for your problems, because it's not my fault. I'm too busy trying to survive and trying not to be homeless and stuff. And I am temporary homeless. Trying to find a way to resolve my issues with not being housed, and then my jobs are uncertain because I have to deal with bullying and harassment all the time. It's not easy for me. I'm sorry that you're going through what you're going through, but everybody in America got their own problems. Like can't nobody be like focus on that right now. I got a lot that I be dealing with, and I pray for everybody, and my chest is starting to hurt. I don't know. It could be my heart breaking. Because I want so bad to be able to walk outside in these streets and be free from drama. It ain't me. It's just other people's drama. I just want to be able to just be able to focus and concentrate on just me and mine and not be bothered with other people's issues, problems, hatred. But I'm serious, y'all. If you get legalized, you do the legal steps the right way to get yourself legalized, you won't have those issues. If you would have done that before it got to this point, you would have been fine. It'd have been more difficulty to push you on up out of here, And then too, I noticed on TV, like they were boldly trying to walk over into America. That was another thing not to do, because it's like, how can I say this? It's like starting shit. If you know something is infuriating, don't. If you notice a fire is infuriating, don't throw more fire salt. Don't throw more stuff on it to make the flames bigger. Don't do that, because it's just going to make it worse and keep bad things, situations escalating. You know what I'm saying? And y'all kind of did that to yourselves. You did. And for the ones who don't who didn't cause that, the ones that did cause it, you made it worse for the ones who are not out here doing that. Because see, you got to be careful what you do, because sometimes what you do may also affect everybody else. But I am tired of the bullying that I've been getting for no reason. I didn't tell you to come over here illegally. You chose to do that. And so now there's an issue going on, that's been going on, about, certain individuals. Some of y'all are not legal. That's not my fault. You made that choice to come over here illegally. You knew the risk. You knew the consequences. You knew the possibilities of what could happen. If it were me, I would have never done that. You know what I'm saying? I would have worked to try to do the steps the right. Well, I would have worked to done the steps the right way. I wouldn't do nothing like that, because to me it's dangerous and it's not smart. In America, when stuff gets tough and rough, and this is for all Americans, whether you're white, black, even the ones that are American born, Spanish, whatever, Indian, all of them. When stuff get tough in America, we work to make things better or to make things right. We don't run from the country to another country. We work in our communities. We work to make it better. A lot of communities have crime, violence, poverty, severe issues of things going on, but we don't just up and bolt from our country. That's not how you make things better. Sometimes, you got to be there and stick it out and make things better. Sometimes you have to muscle up the strength and the faith in God and find the courage within yourself to make your communities better, to make your towns and cities better, to make your country better. You just don't give up and just bolt. You find ways to make it better. That's the reason why a lot of countries are struggling right now, because nobody has gotten up, or it's only a few people, but they need more people to rally behind them, or matter of fact, rally with them to push for improvements, to push for things to be better, to get things to be right, on the right track. That's why, America is always successful with that. We work to make it better. You know what I'm saying? Despite what's going on right now. We stick it out and we work to make things better. We make the necessary improvements that need to happen. And we make sure that it benefits everybody. Despite what's happening right now. We push to make things better. We don't just up and bolt. Just like it's a lot of racism going on. People ain't just upping and bolting. They working through it. They pushing forward. They're persevering. They're setting an example, letting people know I'm not gonna let that affect me. I'm gonna continue to encourage people on unity, equality, equal rights, love for everybody, no hatred. One love. We don't just up and bolt. We don't do that. We get courage. We get brave. We get strong. We stand firm. We peacefully speak up. We ask for what's right. We demand for what's right. We talk the talk and we walk the walk. A closed mouth don't get fed. But I do look at a lot of people who are here illegally trying to play the blame game. No. I love everybody. I welcome everybody. I really do. God knows I love everybody. But y'all stop playing that blame game, because you cannot blame nobody other than the fact that it is true. Y'all came here illegally. Some of y'all, not all. Some, not all. And you want to take things out on somebody. I didn't ask you to do that. You know what I'm saying? You took it upon yourself. And so that's the reason why things are, if people are bringing it up, that's the reason why. To me, it doesn't bother me. It doesn't. And like I said, I couldn't go over to another country and just walk over there. No, I gotta be like registered. I gotta be legalize all of that. Have papers to show that, that I can live there and I'm living there. I just can't up and just go over there. Even for vacation, I can't just up and go like that. You know what I'm saying? So, it's no different, as if, coming to America. Everywhere it's the same with that. You just can't walk into any country like that. Of course, it's going to set off problems, You have to think. I welcome everybody. I love everybody. I'm serious, y'all. I do. And if this offends anybody, it's never to offend. It's out of great concern and great love. I do. I love everybody. Throughout everything that I've experienced and seen what others have experienced and things that I pick up on people, I be right, intuition wise and psychic wise. People be trying to tell me I'm crazy. I'm not crazy. I'm being raw and honest. The best thing to do if you go anywhere, take those let me rephrase it. Take the steps to do everything right. That way you don't have no issues. You won't have no problems. But then again, people, they never take my advice. They always want to lie and say I'm crazy and this and that. And I'm not. I be telling the truth. I be right about everything. But I leave it alone. People have to see in time. It'll work itself out. And it will. It will. I'm not stressing it. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to let other people's hatred, jealousy affect me. I still wish I wish everybody the best. I always do. I don't understand why people feel the need to be mean and cruel to me and be disrespecting me and picking fights with me for no reason. I'm a peaceful person. I'm a nice person. I mind my own business. Sorry, y'all. I just seen something outside the window. But I mind my own business. I don't bother nobody. I just try to live my life peacefully and quietly. But I do notice people consistently, constantly are always harassing me. Taking their problems out on me, bullying up on me and emotionally beating up on me. God. Some days I feel like I don't want to deal with nobody. Like today is a me day. More like, I'm just in my own little space because I need to be away from all of that out there. I thought I saw something. It was a bird on my window. But I feel like I need space from all of that out there because it's like the people, they be all on some type of mess and I don't want it. But what I say is the truth, People want to blame me for their problems. Like, blame yourself. Just like my coworker. She gonna mention, oh, you don't have to work the 12 hours because you're a key holder. You open the store and you close the store. So it's like you're the manager when the owner's not here. So that is the reason why you're put in place in that position. She wants to bully me and pick fights by bringing the garbage from the bathroom and hand it to me in my hands. Will force it on me. You know what I'm saying? And then I realized, oh my God, ew, how disgusting. It's the trash from the bathroom. I can't believe she did that to me. I immediately went to the bathroom, started scrubbing my hands. I was looking for bleach too, to pour on my hands, to wash them with. I seriously, y'all, I was so grossed out and disgusted. Didn't give me a heads up or notification that it was the trash from the bathroom, because I would have got some gloves. You know what I'm saying? But people being mean to me just for no reason. And I think this morning I got up, I started washing my hands even several more times. Because I was so grossed out, even thinking on it. I'm grossed out about it. But going forward, if she does it again to me, I refuse to take any trash from her now and throw it out. She's gonna have to do it herself. I got to put my foot down with people. You know what I'm saying? You can't be mean to me doing that and then expecting me to do stuff like that for you. Nah. And I kept thinking you could take it out yourself. And I kept wondering why she wanted me to take that bag to the dumpster. I did think it was odd because I kept thinking, well, you were at the front door. You could have just walked out and dumped it in the trash. You bringing it up to the register and didn't even wash your hands and touching the customer's items on top of that. I was looking at all of that. Oh, my God. And I kept thinking the customers don't even know she didn't wash her hands. Grab the dirty tampons bag and tissue bag. It was all kinds of stuff in that trash can back there in the bathroom. She grabbed that bag like that. Just nasty. Grabbed that bag out of that dirty trash can, brought it up to the front with her bare hands, and then proceeded to touch all over the cash register, pushing buttons, scanning people's items, touching their physical items, and putting it in the bag, and then handing it to the customer. I was looking like, girl, oh my God. I was furious. That upsetted me because you're spreading germs throughout the environment to people. They got to go home, touch their car doors, their keys. You know, they're going to spread all those germs. You know what kind of germs live in the bathroom? I just kept thinking that was just disgusting. So all those people went home with the germs that you got off that nasty bag with them dirty ass tampons and tissues and paper towels in there. And God knows what else is in there. And you done touched all over those people's stuff and they done transmitted all those germs with them all the way home. And then threw out to other people. Yeah, I was grossed out. I could not believe she did that. But then again, I believe it because she looked like she wanted to do that on intentionally. Like she was waiting for me to amp on her. And then sat up there, threw all those packages of hair, ponytails, extension ponytails, all into the floor, pulled the hooks off, threw them all in the floor. And I kept thinking, why is that all in the floor like that? Knowing we got customers walking back and forth, that's an easy way for a customer to trip and fall and sue the owner for negligence or for an accident in their stores. And I kept thinking, they're not smart. The workers, they're not too bright. Like they're doing stuff like that. That's an easy way for them to make $100,000, $50,000 with an accident, a trip and fall. And I kept thinking, wow, that's really not smart, y'all. She had it all in the floor. The hooks where the products hang on, all down on the products on the floor. And I'm looking like, I ain't cleaning that up. She gonna clean that up. I'm getting tired of that. I'm not cleaning that up. And I did, y'all. I walked on by. Then she gonna get me at the end of my shift. I tried to go take a break. She gonna tell me, no. Because I came in at 10 a.m. and I was supposed to work till 8 p.m. So I worked the shift all the way through with no breaks. Gonna say no, like that. Gonna tell me no. Now you got to go back. Go back and finish that, like that. And I kept thinking, finish what? Something that you threw in the floor, you should put it up. Because you took it down and you left it there like that. And then we have store full of customers. Like, don't nobody have time to be redoing stuff that should have never been taken down in the first place. But she did. She had it all on the floor, and I'm looking like, I'm tired of you. I am tired of working with you. Because you're messy, and then two, you don't wash your hands. And that's another way for a customer to curse you out. Like, if they see that, oh, they're going to be heated. And they're going to be complaining. And then next thing you know, they're going to sue their owner for you transmitting some germ or disease to them. You know, because you're coming up with the stuff out of the bathroom. But a lot of people like to blame me for their issues. And it's like, God, it could be so simple if you just do what you're supposed to do. And stop bitching and complaining about it. And taking it out on others. But I'm feeling today like I just need to be in my own little space. And I need a break from all that out there. But I may go get me some something for the store, because I am in a hotel, so I haven't been cooking anything. So I may go get me one of those TV dinner trays or something. They do got a microwave in here, so that's nice. So I might go get something microwavable to eat. But people, stop blaming others for your issues and deal with your issues. If you don't like something in your life, work to change it. I do it every day. You know, I work to change it, to make it better. And if I need to improve, y'all, I work on myself. Every day I'm a work in progress. I'm not perfect. Nobody is. We're all working progresses. You don't like something, work to change it. That's what I try to do every single day of my life, y'all. I be working so hard at it. And the thing with me is just I have a lot of interference from a lot of jealous people who be just doing things to try to set me off of my path that I'm supposed to be on. But eventually you're going to run out of energy, and eventually you're going to have to give up and leave me alone. But in the meantime, I'm going to enjoy my little peace. Today's the day off, which is good. I can give myself at least one day just to have a break. And just some peace. I'm not worrying about anything, y'all. I'm not. I feel like everything will get better. It will be better. I will be back in a new home. I will. I'm not stressing it. I'm not worrying about it. And I'm going to continue to work on myself and my goals, because I have a lot of goals, y'all. I do. There's a lot of things that I want to do. You know, this isn't what I want my life to be. No. You know, I still can achieve things. I still can go after stuff that I want to do with my life. It's not the end of the world, you know? I still can change my life for the better. I can do better. And I will do better. I will. I'm determined. I won't rest until I have everything that I've ever wanted, and my life is better off than it is now. The sun is shining outside. That's what I keep looking at. It's bright. I love the sunlight. I really do. I love I love the outdoors, you know. I love nature, like taking walks, feeling the air, looking up at the sky. But I wish everybody a great day. I really do. And I wish everybody the best. And like I said, if you don't like something in your life, work to change it. Yes. And thank you to all my subscribers. I appreciate it. You know, you guys popping in every once in a while and just saying hello and giving me words of encouragement and words of wisdom. I greatly appreciate it. And I appreciate all of you. And, you know, continue to be good and continue to do the right thing and spread love and peace everywhere you go.